Sorry for the little bit of a delay. I was just checking if the video was going. It is. It's good. We're good. Welcome back, guys, to my Bloodborne Let's Play. In the last episode, we ran through the aqueduct and got to the next boss. And in this episode, we're going to be fighting said boss. Sorry for that delay. I said like 10 minutes, but it was really like 30 minutes. I decided to do a little grinding and got one level into HP. Real quick, sometimes when you get to the Hunter's Dream, the doll won't be here. She will actually be up here near one of the tombstones. You can still talk to her and get level ups. It's just a different location. It's pretty rare when it happens. It's not rare. I would say it's uncommon, really. Anyway, let's just get into it. So the next boss we're going to fight could be tough, but if you know what you're doing and if you have the right items, you should be fine. And I'm kind of nervous because even though I'm at a somewhat decent level for this point in the game, level 21 at this point, I feel like I'm going to be stuck on this boss at least for 2 or 3 attempts. So one thing I recommend is before every boss, I highly recommend always spending as many blood echoes as you can to get level ups, because you don't want to get stuck in a boss fight loop where you lose like a couple thousand blood echoes every time. Because once you fight a boss and lose to it, you have to go through a fog gate, and there's no way for you to get back out of there unless you have like a bold hunter's mark, and that just leaves you open to get attacked. So let's just quickly head over to the boss. These guys don't really follow you. That guy's just like, stairs. I hate stairs. Let me move forward a little bit. Sorry, there we go. Currently my level is 21. I just put one more in Vitality. I wanted to get it up to at least level 20, maybe 24, but I did like 2 grinding loops, including added some more enemies, like the Mana Eater Boar right beneath us, and the bridge and stuff, but in 2 attempts I got like 5,000, and that would have taken me probably like a half hour plus of grinding. So for this boar, I like running up to it. Once I lock onto it, throw a Molotov, and kind of stuns it a little bit before it starts running, so that, of course, happens on stream. Just dodge away from it. I don't want to explain what just happened. Once that thing's dealt with, I would not recommend dealing with that unless you're a good level, because that thing could one-shot you if you're a low level. Climb up the ladder, and the last 2 times I climbed up this, the guy got hit and flew back in like a really funny way, so hopefully we can get it on stream, because I have yet to do it. And is the camera really doing that shit or the green screen, I mean. Excuse me. Sorry. I need to get a better PS4 camera or something, because this thing just, it sucks. Damn it didn't do it again! Probably didn't do that. Quickly kill this guy. I don't think these guys will follow you into the fight at all, but it's just so sweet. Thanks, dude. Freaking Molotov. And this guy normally drops blood vials, so just use up one. I usually like doing that. If I have 20, I usually use one to get to max. Kill these guys so they don't bug you, because I'm pretty sure they'll follow you up the stairs. And they also drop blood vials sometimes. Get 1 or 2 hits from this guy, back off, because he has more HP than the rest of the huntsmen. I think this guy is actually a little bit stronger than the other spear guys, just by a little bit. Also, I just realized I really need to use the bathroom. Why am I saying that on a stream? I don't know. Just, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta take a quick break. I know, stupid. This won't happen again, I promise. But like, I want to focus on this boss fight. I apologize. So for this boss fight, Father Gascoigne, and yes, I say Gascoigne. It could be Cohen. I don't know. I just like saying coin better. Father Gascoigne can be kind of tough. Basically, he has technically 2 phases, but I consider it to have 3. His first phase, he has a hunter's axe in short form with a blunderbuss, and he can basically do what other hunters do with rolling around, dodging your attacks, can stagger you with the blunderbuss, that kind of stuff. Kind of annoying, but all around not terrible. He has some pretty dangerous abilities where he could just run up to you and hit you with his axe and stuff, and he could mostly be interrupted with one exception being his scattergun burst, which is his quicksilver, which is his blunderbuss attack. But every other attack in his first phase is completely interruptible, like his horizontal chop, and his other abilities. Phase 2 is a bit different. Phase 2 is where he actually takes away his blunderbuss and then extends his axe. This one could be tough because he has like a lot of long range sweep attacks. Sorry, again, I don't know why that keeps happening. The camera keeps like going this, like tilting one direction because of the really stupid cord design. Just pretty much you want a good opening to attack him. Don't go in every second and hit him because he'll probably just counter you and cut you down to size. And his third phase is where it gets kind of tough. So for this, an item I recommend equipping is the tiny music box given to you by his daughter, because in his boss fight, if you use it, it actually stuns him for a few seconds, letting you get more hits in. However, in his first 2 phases... Okay, hold on. There we go. For his first 2 phases, only use it twice. Once for each phase, because that way you can get a few free hits in. And if you use it a third time, he will automatically go straight to his third phase, and he'll be a lot tougher than he was before. So just use it twice, and a third time during his third phase, and you should be fine. After that, he actually gains immunity. And there is a delay. If you do use the music box, there is a several second delay. So, for example, I'll show you. I don't think you were able to hear it, but pretty much there's like a 2-second delay from using it to where he actually like starts getting staggered. So if you get hit before he starts getting staggered, just heal and don't worry about hitting him. So it's a good like, please stop doing this emergency button. Let's get into it. Again, sorry for that little thing I did a few minutes ago.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be soon.
Be careful about these tombstones because A, they can actually be shields for you, which are good, but they can also be a kind of a nuisance, so keep that in mind. I know I'm kind of sucking here. I just want to get a good angle on attack. He only has like just over 2,000 HP, so he's a pretty quick fight, and he is the first required boss in the game. Cleric Beast was a completely optional boss.
What's that now?
This is where phase 2 starts.
Sweet blood. Oh, it seems
That
to
thing
be-
can hit through the tombstones, so don't use them as a shield. Okay. Sorry. I guess he can still use his blunderbuss. That makes sense. Moving on. Alright, so back to Molotovs. He's weak to fire a little bit, so whack him with the fire, and especially in his third phase. Oh my god, I'm cornered. I'm sorry, I'm sucking right now. Ooh. For the most part, most of his attacks could be interrupted, so I think there's like 1 or 2 attacks that can't be, but just be very careful. Oh, that's a good solid hit. That's going to get him to phase 3. Phase 3, I would recommend just backing off and waiting. Yep, there it is. Father Gascoigne werewolf mode. This, the music box is completely useless now, so don't even bother using it. I'm just gonna Molotov him twice. Or... never mind. Could be a really tough fight. He has a lot of combos and stuff. Fairly threatening. Be very careful, and if you get the chance to shoot him, like shoot him because you could easily stagger him. Let me check his attacks that could be interrupted. Alright, so in phase 1, all of his attacks besides him shooting his gun are interruptible. In phase 2, I scrolled up on accident, sorry. In phase 2, his downward slam attack and slam combo are interruptible, but his howl attack and his other one aren't. Oh, that's for his beast mode, sorry. Regardless, most of his attacks can be staggered. Unlike the Cleric Beast, who's only... I don't think... No, none of his attacks were staggerable. So down here is the red brooch. So, with that, you could give that to the girl from back at that window, which I would not recommend doing that, because personally, I just like using it for myself, and you'll see in a moment. I just want to get the next area and, you know, speak to some people there before we continue on. So don't worry, this next, the chapel up here, there's no enemies in it. It is actually kind of a little safe haven. Basically, for a little while, this will be like our main hub of the game. Besides, like, the Hunter's Drain and stuff. And here's an item that is very, very good to get. Blood Gem Workshop. The Blood Gem Workshop tool. I'll show you what that does back at the workshop. So welcome to the Get the Reward. Let's set up this lamp, and that guy right there is harmless. Just speak with him because, well, he's a good guy.
Oh, you must be a hunter. Very sorry. The incense must have masked your scent. Good, good. I've been waiting for one of your ilk. These hunts have everyone all locked up inside, waiting for it to end. It always does, always has, you know, since forever. And it won't end nicely, not this time. Even some folks hiding inside are going bad. Screams of women folk, the stench of blood, the snarls of beasts. None of them's too uncommon now. Yarnum's done for, I tell you. But if you spot anyone with their wits about them, tell them about this here Erdin chapel. They'll be safe here. The incense wards off the beasts. Spread the word. Tell them to come on over. If you wouldn't mind. I know I should, if they seem odd, and I know if they're odd.
Pretty good guy. Down that way is a way for an optional area. That's a door we can't do, and this is the main path right here. There is a new enemy over here that I kind of want to show you. Talk about real quick. The cathedral guy. I forgot the names of them already, but they can be easily staggered. And I think he's gonna drop a shitload of blood. It goes. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of a different version later. Let me find their names real quick. I'm sorry. I guess as church servants, they hit like a truck. They could be really easily staggered, but if they hit you with those sticks of theirs, their canes, that's gonna do a lot of damage. So be kind of careful. And I'm not really going to do anything else in terms of progression. I just wanted to warn you about that guy real quick, because there's a lot of them in this area. Sorry about that. There's a thing in this game called gestures. They're like emotes and stuff. Sometimes just out of the blue, they just automatically go, you know? Like, it never works except for just by itself. So two more things I want to do is head back to the Hunter's Dream. So first up, I want to go back to the sick room, first floor sick room, speak with whatever her name is, I forgot already. Isaka. I know the name, I just don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Isaka. Or Isefka. It's like kind of Russian sounding. There goes the camera again.
Oh, well, hello. Splendid. Let me ask you a small kindness. You're soon off to hunt, I presume? Then, if you find any survivors, tell them to seek Yusefka's clinic. Upon my Hippocratic oath, if they are yet human, I will look after them. Perhaps even cure them. This sickness, these beasts, they are not to be feared. This time the night is long. I may be trapped here, but I should do something to help. I'll even offer a reward for your well. If you clear.
Alright. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Like, I'm not leaning you back on it or anything. Just ridiculous. So now I think we can speak to the guy again back at the cathedral, unless we don't need to. Don't worry, this episode's pretty much almost over. I just want to talk to a few more NPCs, and that's about it. Speak with Gilbert.
You needn't concern, I'm afraid I'm of little help now. But before I did this,
Flame spray.
There's
Frick, really? Which one was that? Okay. The guy's sick and dying, and I do that. Okay. I hope you didn't see that. This is actually completely useless now. There's like one or two extra uses for it, but they're like super minor and not really important to talk about, so... It's just like little things you could do in the world. So now that we got the red brooch, we're gonna go speak with that girl. Quickest way to her house is actually through that mob, but... Alright. Let's do it. Those guys are not tough at all. We could run through them really quickly. No, what am I talking about? We could get there even quicker right this way. Okay. Sorry. There's a lot of shortcuts in this game. It gets a little confusing, to be honest. Did that thing's torso just like break? Shine coins. Oh, come on. Shine coins are garbage. I don't need those. Do not give. Tell her to go to the chapel. One thing I recommend is there's some NPCs that ask you where they like you to send, with one exception. Always tell them the chapel. Do not send them the clinic. Just trust me on this one. I'll talk about it more later. I'll explain more when we get to that point. So now that we spoke with her, there are a few other things we can do. But I'm gonna wait on that. There's one more embassy we can help. NPC. No, is there? Actually, no, there isn't. Wait. Yeah, there is. Sorry, I skipped my mind. But there is one more character we can speak to, but we'll help them later. So if we did things right, there should be something waiting for us down in that canal with the man, that boar. Really cool how that one enemy dropped a Molotov for us, like right after I used one. That helped a lot. I mean, that did a lot of damage. He is weak to fire. Phase 1, he's a bit weak to fire, but in his Phase 3 form, he's super weak when he's a beast. Oh, here it is. Yep, red messenger ribbon. So, as you can see right here... Oh, that's a different guy. It is implied that that girl found this pathway and got attacked by the boar and she got killed. I know it's kind of dark how we did that, but, like... I think either way she would have been killed by something, so it wasn't, like, a... unpreventable, I guess, unless we just ignored her, but I wanted to get that item because it's just, you know, whatever. Please do it, please do it, please do it. Come on, game! It did it every time off screen, and then on screen it just like, yeah, fuck off. And that's enough. There's one or two other things I'd like to do, but we'll do that next episode, at the beginning of next episode. At Hunter's Dream, there's one thing I do want to show you guys before we end it off, and I promise next episode that little thing that happens where there's like part of the green screen that's off, or camera. I'll fix the positioning of the camera and shit like that. It just... I don't know why it does that. The cord isn't, like, tight or anything like that. It's perfectly fine. With the red brooch, you can use it to gain the red blood gem. And what the red blood gem is, it is basically an augment for your weapon. But that item we got back at the cathedral, you can now augment your stuff. And it's not great, but it's good for now. Rally potential is that orange bar that whenever you get hit, it's that lighter color orange section in your health bar. When you hit an enemy and you gain that back, basically that just helps you gain a little bit more. So we gain a little under 3%. Okay, so it's not the greatest, but I'll give this to the Saw Spear so we can do a little more. And that's all we have for now. There's a lot of gems in this game, so that's not the end of it. Just use that. Let me check if I have any cold blood. No, I do not. I have some Madman's Knowledge. Right over here, once you beat Father Gascoigne, you actually unlock the ability to purchase his set. I personally love the set quite a bit, so I'm going to be buying it. And probably equipping at least the chest piece, because, I mean, look at all that. Like, you lose a little bit in physical defense, but everything else just goes up by quite a bit. Except for the Frenzy and Beasthood stuff, but we don't really need that for now. So, I personally think this is one of my favorite sets in the game. At least at this point. However, I do think his hat sucks. It just loses a lot in the physical defenses, and I really, really want to keep that stuff. So, we're gonna keep what we got. So, yeah. Father Gascoigne's part of his set, at least. We look like... Actually, I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not gonna make it. It was tasteless.
Welcome home, good hunter.
Camera rotated again, sorry guys.
Very well, then.
End of the video anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We got enough for one... Hold up. I want to get 2 level ups. If I have, like, within 20, I'm just gonna sell a few things. We'll sell Blood Vial. I have a lot, so...
Welcome, what is it? Very well, then.
1 in Vitality, and we'll do... 1 in Endurance. Get that up to 20. So off screen, probably starting tomorrow because I'm kind of bored of the game right now, so I kind of want to take a break for the rest of the day. We are going to do... I'm going to focus more on Blood Tinge, just to get that up, because that is one of the main stats I want to focus on for this build. As well as skill, but I also want to get Endurance up quite a bit, just because a lot of people say don't go over like 20 Endurance, but I personally like going into the 30s. Just, I like a lot of Endurance, I like doing a lot of hits and dodging and stuff, so that's why. I think that's enough for today, guys. We did a major area in Yharnam, as well as a boss fight, as well as quite a few little side things. I think that's enough for today. Next episode, we'll start doing Cathedral Ward, which is one of my favorite areas in the game. Off screen, I'm definitely going to be grinding up for that item we need, the 10,000 Blood Echoes one, because this is required for getting into the Round Plaza, which is an area that is pretty good, pretty cool. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I promise, next episode, I'm probably gonna move this more that way, so when the camera does its crappy rotation thing, there isn't like a giant space that you can see behind it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace out.